That's St. Margaret's Bay, straight ahead of us. Look at that. Beautiful St. Margaret's Bay. So you can see why they call this northeast or the East Harbor here. And there's that yellow building across the way with the balconies and the red chairs. That's a bed and breakfast. Nice place to stay. Peggy's Cove B&B. Spent a couple nights out here. And the government wharf off to our left with Peggy's Cove boat tours. If you ever rode here for any length of time, take the boat tour. Absolutely fantastic. See the life from a different perspective. Got a boat for sale for you just on the left-hand side here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's in really good shape. I think all you'd have to do is dip it in wood to make it float. That's it. It's the only thing that'll make it float. So make me an offer. Have you been down? Did you get a lobster roll? Anybody down here?
I did.
Good? Plenty good?
I ate the whole lobster.
Oh, way to go. Way to go.
Just about didn't make her back.
Forget about the roll, right? And anybody have a homemade ice cream? That's pretty nice ice cream if you're in the mood for ice cream, of course. Shopping's more important than ice cream is. Another look at the memorial here, Fisherman's Memorial.
I couldn't see the girl before.
So if you take a look at that now, get another video, get a picture. I'll slow down as slow as I can here without causing trouble behind me. But you can see the monument from left to right. You see them working hard with the rope going through their arms. And you see it end over by Peggy. Peggy's got the long hair with the basket.
Ah, okay.
See her now?
Yeah.
And then you see You'll Be Blessed. Work, Bounty, and Grace.
So
And Mr. and Mrs. McGarth are actually interred in that rock. So they're definitely part of Peggy's Cove. So he did that in 8 years. He passed away before he could finish it. His son finished it for him.
And the scenery around here all the way. Coming up.
These rocks coming up on the right-hand side, they used to be called the Happy Rocks. Little boys and girls used to stand on the rocks and wave, or one fellow was smart, he put a gate and charged a nickel to get in. It's probably worth a fortune now, that guy. You all need children that are that enterprising.
So all these rocks are granite.
We take it for granted. They're all granite, yes. We have a lot of rocks in Nova Scotia. This sign would be rather interesting if you didn't know where you were, right? You can go to Halifax to the left and west, or you go to Halifax to the right and east. Oh, Halifax is either very huge, or this is a loop, right? I wonder what it is. So we're going to live on the edge, we're going left. Mention the undertow of Peggy's Cove, very dangerous. Hope you didn't see anybody fall in. We never want that to happen. A lot of people close though, aren't they? Of course, it's really rough over there, but on this side, this is called Cranberry Cove.
This is beautiful.
Beautiful little cove, and it's not as much undertow, so a lot of people come here to learn how to scuba dive. Learn how to handle your oxygen, and you can handle the surf, and a little bit of tide to play with, so you learn how to scuba dive really quickly. But if you look over your left shoulder, you'll start to see a different perspective of the lighthouse and the restaurant, Peggy's Cove. Nice place for a viewpoint from the left. Take a look at it, isn't that nice? You can see why it looks like an anthill right now, but you can see why it will protect boats. And on a solemn note, I bring back the Swissair Flight 111. The memorial is just up here. Just keep an eye on the left-hand side. You're going to see two stones, granite stones, scallop shaped. You'll often see people standing in front of them. You can see them on the left ahead of us. And and that is the memorial for the Swiss Air Flight 111. If you go out 6 miles from that, you'll be at the disaster site, the crash site. And anybody see a whale while you're at Peggy's Cove? Oh, I've got to show. I'll call one. Ah, here's a whale. Look at this. Here's the tail right here beside the bus. And the back coming up out of the water and doing even a little breach in the eye on the other side. Gave us away. Barnacles and all. Look at that. That's called the whale's back rock. You can't say I didn't show you a whale's back. Look through the driveway here. You might see those stones out there. People standing around them. See them? They're really close to the... I'll go slow between the trees there. You might see them again. See them over there? And right here again, you might see them before we get by them. Hard to see, but if you take a straight line out, 6 miles out, it's like a big triangle, straight up to the disaster site, over to the other Bayswater Memorial, and back here. That's a triangle. Now we're out of the preservation area now, so you can build houses and build businesses. We're in Indian Harbor, named after the big mountain. Lots of fishing going on here. Of course, this bay does not freeze over. You can imagine all the currents and the salt water. Maybe up a little further, and then maybe the sheltered coves and bays might freeze over a little bit, but not for long with the tides and the surf. A few twists and turns and now flat and straighten the road up for you. How's that? That's a deal. You want to come back and stay in Indian Harbor for a couple of days? In a week, here's the Clifty Cove Motel, left-hand side. All that salt air coming in on your face all night. You sleep like a baby.
I prefer the B&B.
Better than the B&B. Of course, lobster season's closed down here, but we do have a lobster pound. Right here to the left, this white building with the white truck. He'll go get fresh lobsters if he hasn't got any on his own. He's a lobster fisherman, but probably still has a lot from the season. You can go in there, pick a lobster if you're choosing, take it home and cook it yourself. Skip the middleman. Or remember, always cook it when it's alive.
Yeah,
Always dip it head first. Poor old thing. But you know, if you cook it raw, it could poison you, so be very careful. 1977. Remember I told you it takes about 5-7 years for a lobster to grow to become an eating lobster, pound and a quarter, pound and a half. Well, there was a lobster caught in Lunenburg in 1977. It weighed 44 pounds. That's a huge lobster. Probably like chewing out a suitcase if you tried to eat it up my ear, a little tough. But how, if it takes 5 or 7 years for it to grow a pound or so, I'll leave it simple. How old do you think that 44-pound lobster was? I'll leave that with you. Remember that the female lobster has all the eggs, so we put the female back, and she might have 200,000 or 300,000 eggs, and only 4 of those eggs will actually be fertilized and become a lobster. So it's extremely important to put those females back. So 1 in a million will be blue, 1 in 8 million might be an albino, and that's all because of the proteins of the eat. That's where the colors come from. That lobster would be what? Well over 220 years old. That's an old critter. He probably beat everybody up around. The fishermen probably made him a pet, put a saddle on him, took him to races. Who knows? view up here. Nice and calm. At the bottom of this hill is Covey's Cove, named after Mr. and Mrs. Covey, who were here first.
People swim here.
Oh my goodness, yes. The water is about 16 Celsius, so if you double it in 32, not too bad. Refreshing, let me say that.
Right of course.
If you're groggy in the morning, jump in the cove. You're awake. Some of these properties on the other side of this water at Covey's Cove are worth maybe $500,000 to the millions of dollars because they're on the St. Margaret's Bay. Look at this. Beautiful. And you might see a little reef coming up on the left-hand side. Maybe all kinds of cormorants trying to dry their wings. Look at that. All kinds of them out there. Anybody who lives on this side of Peggy's also commutes to Halifax to work unless they're retired or own a business of their own. And school children are bused to schools at the end of this road. I'll show you those as we get there. Of course, schools they don't care about that now. Around the corner, go down the hill, look to your left, you're going to see what we call Boutilaire's Cove. Beautiful little cove. If I go slow enough, you might even get a picture. Left-hand side. There we go, doesn't that look nice in there? Definitely sheltered from the St. Margaret's and the Atlantic. Then you come up to the finer diner, have yourself a lobster club sandwich. Or just the lobster, right, sir? Forget the sandwich. Now, I mentioned a fellow that's really enthused about Peggy at the Cove. His name is Ivan Fraser. And I get nothing out of this because I think he's a fantastic guy. He's a writer and an artist. He is rather passionate about Peggy at the Cove. He's written some great books about her, and his art is mostly about the sea and the lighthouse. You can only imagine what he's inspired by. But he is so impassioned about Peggy at the Cove that he has his art studio across from his house, but his house is totally painted as a mural for Peggy at the Cove. There's a lighthouse, a rock, a huge lobster trap where you can crawl in and have your picture taken, a playground, and on the back could be the haunted lady of the Cove, or it could be Peggy, I don't know. So take a look, coming up on the right-hand side, you'll see a pole, red, yellow, green. Keep an eye on the right, see what he's done to his house, and I always like to slow down. If he knows we're coming, he'll stand out with a huge anchor, the strongest artist in the world, with a sou'wester hat on. I don't know if he'll do that today or not. Keep an eye on the right-hand side, look at his house. A lot of work, he painted it himself. He's coming up on the right, here we go, here we go, here we go. And right about now, look at that. Now, there's a lot of work. Oh, I think he's rather passionate about Peggy. I don't know if he's passionate, possessed, or obsessed, but he's having a good time. And there's the lady of the Cove out there. Amazing, isn't it? So look for him.
Yeah, he started there.
Oh, he's standing waving, was he?
Yeah.
So look for his books, Ivan Fraser, F-R-A-S-E-R. Like I said, I get nothing out of that. I think he just lightens up this side of the Cove for sure. If you have an RV, come up to the Wayside RV Park. Stay a couple weeks, cross the road, do some fishing, some kayaking, canoeing or boating of any kind. Oceanfront property I mentioned is very expensive, but so is lakeside. We've got a lot of lakeside property here. You can pay anywhere from $60,000 to, I suppose, a couple $100,000 for a lakeside property. Coming up around the corner is a church. It's the William Black Memorial United Church, and it's sitting on a lake. This is a beautiful spot with this little graveyard beside it. Just take a look coming up. happy as well. Right around the corner, we're going to come into a little place called Seabright. Nice name for a community on the ocean. And as we get to the bottom of the hill, look left. This is a beautiful little cove here too. There's a tiny little mansion on the other side. Tiny little mansion. Figure that one out. That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? I could call it a large shack. Look over to the left, right, a boat. Now, how's that? Beautiful. You can imagine the millions of dollars worth of property over there. But Nova Scotia is only about 600 miles long and 60 miles wide at the widest point. So most people can get to the ocean within a half an hour. So we're very lucky that way. Everybody's being good. I've got the Royal Canadian Mounted Police following me. Oh, no, don't be bad. Two things are guaranteed in life, right? Taxes and which one? Death. Oh my goodness, that's guaranteed. But you know, I'd sooner pay my taxes right now, drive you on lined roads that are patched up every spring and have nice hospital systems and services. Eventually I will pass away, but you know, I'll enjoy it while I'm here. So I don't mind paying taxes for that. Side or even the other side of Peggy's Cove for only half an hour from Halifax most of the time, 45 minutes maybe with traffic. So these places are well in demand when they go for sale. We even had Hollywood here. You might have heard of the Jesse Stone series. Tom Selleck was in that. He's filmed a lot of the scenes from Jesse Stone in Halifax, so he has been seen out here at St. Margaret's Bay, as well as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mind you, that's Hollywood. We'll move to it. Okay. But I'll show you a place up where we think he stays. We're going to drive into French Village. On the left-hand side is what we call Millionaire's Cove. Absolutely beautiful. You'll see in a minute. You'll get a little peek through the trees and then we'll get away from the trees. And there might even be a huge yacht there, which proves he might be there too. Isn't that pretty? Of course, they have a sailing club up here, their own marina, and a government wharf. It's an absolutely beautiful spot to live. Learn how to sail, and nice, relatively calm up here. So after the trees, take a look. And across the way. This is a beautiful piece of St. Margaret's Bay. Look at that. Some of the beautiful homes up ahead, and over on the other side, absolutely spectacular. Why wouldn't you want to live out here and drive to town? Why not? No problem.
Well, the white is because I'm poor.
Oh, that's one of my reasons too. So you might look over to the left now. You see some beautiful homes over here. You see that huge yacht? We think that is Tom Selleck. He just may be visiting, and he stays at the yellow house, or the gold house in between the two gold and silver ones there. We think that's him. That's a beautiful yacht. He's got whoever it is. over here too. They can walk down to the beach house and change into the swimming trunks and have a swim. It's a beautiful swim.
Ah, yeah, I can see it.
Little beach on the left-hand side coming up.
For how many months can people go into the water here?
Well, the question's about swimming. Once the water's warm, which is about now, you can swim right up to probably the end of October. Really, yeah. I mean, it may not be warm in October. And he might be acclimatized and numb, but you'll have a nice swim. But for the most part, to the end of September. They say it's warmer in October than it is in June or July. So it must be relative to the year. That must be it.
Maybe because people get used to it.
Some of our exports, I mentioned blueberries, wild blueberries we export out of here. Lobster, naturally, millions of pounds, go out of Nova Scotia. I mentioned China gets a lot of them, but they go all over the world. We also have Christmas trees, fir trees, the balsam fir tree, lots of Christmas trees go out of here. We have something like 700 Christmas tree growers in Nova Scotia. We even sent one huge tree down to Boston. You might know about that tree. That tree goes down, it's a fir tree, Christmas tree, and they put it up the first week of December, and it's a thank you and a remembrance of the Halifax explosion that happened in Halifax December the 6th, 1917. So that's one big tree we watch every year, which we send it down on a flatbed truck. Gyp rock, gypsum board, that's also something we send.
So if we go to the supermarket, we can find those beautiful blueberries.
Absolutely. Also, maple products is one of our exports as well. We bring in a lot of sap from Quebec, the northeast United States, and we take that sap and turn it into anything maple. And you know that it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. So it's very careful. So we have to bring it in. We don't have that much sugar maples around here. So we bring a lot of sap in. We make maple wine and maple vodka, maple sugar. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. I never drink it though. Maple cookies, maple candy, maple marshmallows, maple everything. It's just beautiful. I'll show you a little.
Maple products we have in
So I'll show you a little factory up here that boxes up anything maple and ships it out. He's done very well for himself. But you'll never guess what our largest export is. If it's not lobster, not fish, not rocks, not trees, what do you think our largest export is? You'll probably never guess, right? If you look around, you might see cars driving around, naturally lots of cars. Lots of cars in Canada, the UK, US have tires on them that have Michelin on the side of that tire. We have 4 or 5 Michelin plants in Nova Scotia, and we export billions of dollars worth of tires. We import the rubber and send out tires. But I'd sooner chew on a lobster, if you don't mind. Rubber just too hard on the teeth. So we're running out of water, I should say, more trees now, so we're coming to the head of the bay. We're coming to a place called Tantalon. That's an Aboriginal word for head of the bay, so it makes sense. We're getting close. You might notice a lot of power lines. Our Nova Scotia Power is the monopoly on power. We pay their price. It's 15 cents per kilowatt hour, I believe. But you'll notice that they have a lot of brooks and rivers coming into the ocean around Nova Scotia, and there are a lot of plants that actually do some hydroelectrical generating, put them back into these lines. And there's one up here on the left-hand side. It's yellow with gold trim, or purple trim, pardon me. Nice big black water silo behind it. And it's been doing it for over 50 years here, and there are many of them around. So you see that coming up ahead of us on the left. Of course, you can put up solar if you want. But there are programs, even through Nova Scotia Power, they'll help you with your solar if you want. So So there it is over there to the left. Beautiful part of the bay, though, isn't it? That point, that marks the head of the bay. That's where the rivers come in to the bay. So we're off of the peninsula. It's a huge peninsula when you think about it. If you were back in Peggy's Cove, you might have noticed there are not too many garages here. There was one at the beginning of the loop, and there's one at the end, so nothing in the middle. Not too many grocery stores. So if you wanted to shop, well, you don't have to go to Halifax. Just at the end here, at Upper Town Hill, I'll show you a little shopping mecca that they use, so they don't have to go to Halifax. On the left-hand side, you'll see the Acadia maple just off to the left up here in the box. I mean, he started with 2 sugar maple trees and a little shack. Now he's an exporter for Nova Scotia. He's done very well. There it is here, Acadia maple. And they're even advertising maple vodka today. So this is some little shopping mecca that we're coming to now. This is the end of the loop. So if you didn't want to go to Halifax, you can come over here. Farmers Market off to the left. And you see the Irving garage on the right hand side, the Irving's out of New Brunswick. They have the fuel here for them. Also pharmacare for your pharmaceuticals. You got Home Hardware on the left here for hardware superstore where the grocery chain is. You Joe Fresh for clothes, lawyers, doctors, McDonald's, Tim Hortons, Canadian Tire, they're all here. So why go to Halifax? Just come up to Upper Town. And that's what many do.
What about the prices?
Prices are the same everywhere in Nova Scotia. Oh, of course they have their right to put them up or down.
Is there a huge or big markets?
Excuse me?
Farmers market in Halifax?
Yes, down at the waterfront.
At the waterfront?
Yes. Down near the farmers market is down by the cruise ship terminals at Pier 21. So we're going to come off the number 3, head up to the 100 series highway and go back to Halifax nice and quick. I always like to say we're going to boogie back to Halifax. This bridge we're going to go under used to be a railway. Our railway only comes down to Halifax. We have no railway in Nova Scotia at all. So we've turned the rails into trails. So you can walk, bike, ski, whatever you want to do. So good use of the Canadian National Railway property. And here's some elementary school, junior high school to the left. And up further, you're going to see on the left-hand side a high school. It's called Sir John A. Macdonald High School, named after our first Prime Minister. Back there and have an Irving fuel in your car, and you didn't like the Irvings for some reason, come up here and shop the competitor, Petro-Canada. And if you didn't like the superstores that the Irvings own as well, come up here and shop the competitor, Sobeys. And if you didn't like Canadian Tire or Hardware, come up here and shop Rona. So there are options up in Upper Town. And of course they have a library and a community center, a skating rink, a Dollarama for Christmas shopping. My sons used to cringe when I said, I'm taking $20, go to Dollarama, you'll have 10 gift seats. What do you think? Oh no, Daddy, no. Here's the school off to the left, up in the woods. Beautiful school. Brand spanking new. Holds something like 15 to 1,800 students. We're on the Hammonds Plains Road, and this is where the other mecca for shopping is, the Ronas and the Sobeys. nice big mech over there. There's lots of things, lots of places to shop. So we're back to the 100 Series Highway. Well, we weren't on it, but we're on it now. We saw the ocean with Peggy's Cove. We saw lots of fields and trees. We saw beautiful coves, didn't we? Beautiful scenery.
Already.
Anybody remember Rita McNeil? The lights still working? No, it's not. I hit a bump. That's what happens. Can you hear me now? No. Yes. No. How about that? No. Yes. No. I'm going to go crazy. How's that? No good? No. 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 How about that? How about that? How about that? How about that? Boy, this is bothering me now. Just when I need it most, right? How about that? Not at all, right? Hello, hello? How's that? Better? You hear me? Oh. How's that? Aha. No. You're just psyching me out up there. Is that better? All right. You remember Rita McNeil, good singer on Cape Breton Island? I'll try to do this where the mic says no. There's a song that she wrote that absolutely suits any tour I do in Nova Scotia. She loved the ocean, she loved the fields and the mountains, and she passed away. I miss her, but this song, it'll either put you to sleep when I sing it or keep you awake for 2 days, right? So I'm going to sing a couple verses. If you know it, sing along with me. Let me know if it suits our trip today. Let me tune up. She grows on you slowly the first time you meet. There's just so much beauty your heart can believe, and you want to stay longer, and she's ever so pleased. You're one of the many who don't want to leave. So walk through her green fields, go down to the sea. The fortune in your eyes is more like a dream. She's called Nova Scotia, and she's so great you feel. You've discovered a treasure no other has seen. It's hard to remember the places you've been, but once in her presence, she's all that you've seen. And she cradles you softly with her warm, gentle breeze, and wins your heart over with the feeling of peace. So walk through her green fields, go down to the sea. The fortune in your eyes is more like a dream. She's called, and she's so great you feel. You've discovered a treasure no other has seen. She welcomes the strangers from faraway shores, and deep down inside her, some walk through her soul. And at night in her slumber, the wind softly calls, and awakens the spirit that lives in a soul. So walk through her green fields, go down to the sea. The fortune in your eyes is more like a dream. She's called and she's so great to feel. You've discovered a treasure no other has seen. You've discovered a treasure no other has seen. Well, thank you. I hope you discovered a treasure. It certainly wasn't that, right? I'm going to leave you alone now, let you relax. I'm going to have a nap. You have a nap too. I'll see you back at Halifax. Your white knuckle trip back. Keep an eye out for exit number 0. Now wake me up when we get there. Halifax. Didn't take long, did it? Now, if you lived on this side of Peggy's Cove, didn't want to go to Halifax, well, just off to the left-hand side here, there's Mayor's Lake Business Park. So you can shop for Costco and big box stores in there. A microphone working back there? No? I don't know. No? Yes? Maybe? Good? Yeah? No? Not yet? No? I had a bump back there. I knew that would happen. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Hello there. Nothing yet, eh? Nothing yet, eh? How about that? The bane of my existence. Hello there. Hello there. You ain't have to hold it all the way. You hear me now? Watch it go over and hit this bump. Watch it. Oh! It did, didn't it? Did it stay? La 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 la. You're still coming through okay? No. I knew that bump would do that to me. How's that? How's that? Just say yes when you hear me. Smooth the roads in a minute. Is that okay now? No? No? Hello? 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 I'll go home and dream about this. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, thank you. Now, I hope that stays in. It's relatively smooth on the way back. There's exit 1D, so we're running out of ones. You might have seen all the ones. And there's exit 0. You thought I was kidding. Look at that, up on the right-hand side. Just to the right of that is a golf course, the Ashburn Golf and Country Club. And just right beside that exit 0 sign is a water trap. So we're only 10 minutes from downtown. You can go 18 holes. Off to the other side, we came in the St. Marcus Bay Road. I showed you the northwest arm. Over on the northwest arm at the other end, at the harbour end, is a container ship, a container pier, I should say, known as Hell Term. So lots of containers come into the mouth of the harbour. Let's think of the harbour as shaped like a spoon. So that would be like the handle of the spoon. You come in and look ahead to your left here, you'll see 3 red and white smokestacks. That's the narrowest part. That's 5 miles in from the mouth of the harbour. That'd be like the narrowest part of the spoon. And off to your left is the Bedford Basin, the ladle of the spoon. And it's another 5 miles in. There's 10 miles of harbour right there. Keep an eye for the green container cranes for the Cirrus container pier on the left. So lots of containers in and out of Halifax by train, truck, and ship. Yes, Isidore, I'm going to take us back around by the Bedford Basin in Barrington City. Road. This is one of the 3 thoroughfares into and out of Halifax. This used to be farmland. Mr. Mayor said, sure, you can use it. I bet he cringed after they used it. They said it'd be fun, they said. This is one of the railway cuts I was talking about. We have 7 in Halifax. Look how deep we are for the railway. You never have to go over a railway track, other than above it. And you'll see homes on Bayers Road. Did that bump out? No?
Yeah.
Did it? Oh my. Not back yet, am I? Almost. I can hear myself up here, it sounds good. Not there though, is it? No. No. Oh, my. Hello. Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have to write this up, won't I? Oh, I'll have trying to tell you. We went by a whole pile of war homes. In fact, you still see them on the left-hand side. Those war homes were built in the 40s. They cost the military, who built them for the military, about $600 or $900. They sold them to the military boys for about $3,000. They're probably worth about $350,000 now. This was all, as you can see, the homes down here, in the north end, are a little different than what we drove through, coming through Goodmore Road. And on a Saturday, not too much in the way of traffic, thank goodness. We usually have a rush minute, not a rush hour, because they're all trying to make a rush for that one or two exits they have. So I'm going to take you down Canard Avenue and get you somewhere close to Barrington Street back to the Maritime Museum. Give you the tour of the harbour this time. You know our relationship, Halifax relationship with the Titanic, don't you? You probably haven't know a lot about it, but just highlight it. You know, it's pretty amazing. We sent ships out, we're about 800 miles from the sinking site, where Newfoundland was closer, but we happen to have a White Star Line here, so it made sense to bring them into the White Star Line office. And we also had access to trains, so 328 bodies were brought into Halifax. It's a large number of bodies they found, and about 150 of them are built in, are buried in Halifax. The rest were sent back because they had money. They were probably first class. They had money to go back. 121 are buried in the Fairview Lawn Cemetery, just off to our left. I'll show you. There are 10 in the Jewish Baron-de-Hirsch Cemetery, and there are 19 in the Catholic Mount Olivet Catholic Cemetery off behind us, a couple blocks. That's the largest number, 150 total, buried in Halifax. But it's amazing that they treated them in death as they were treated in life. If you were first class on the ship, well, you were put in a coffin when they found your body. And then they were brought to Halifax and taken up to Snow's funeral home in a horse-drawn hearse. However, if you were third class, the opposite end of the class, well, you were put on ice on the ship, and then when you get to Halifax, put on a cart with ice on it, and then left at the Mayflower curling rink, laid out to be identified on ice. So it's pretty amazing they were treated the same in death as in life. That was life in those days, absolutely. The 1900s and something. Yeah. But one of the entrances to the Fairview Lawn Cemetery is just off to the left. This street that goes off to the left, just ahead of us, will take you down to a first entrance, and it's off to the, when you get in there, it's sort of to the right. And it's, the stones are Nova Scotia black granite, paid for by the White Star Line. And it's in the shape of a, if you've been in there, it's in the shape of the bow of a ship. Pretty amazing. Here's the Baron-de-Hirsch is off to the left here, the Jewish cemetery. Oh, not again. It hit one bump. Can't hear me now? Here we go again. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. That's it? No. Just, no, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh my. That's too bad. Frustrating. Very frustrating. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh my. Oh dear. Hello, hello. What are we doing now? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? I may have to yell at you. That's the Bedford Basin off to the left there. Good way to shut up a guide, isn't it? I think you planned that, everyone. Canadian Coast Guard off to our left. Well, it lasted all the way to Peggy's Cove and almost all the way back. Here's the Halifax shipyard. That's you see a couple of new ships we have built here. The Irvings own this, obviously. It's a 40 year, $30 to $40 billion contract.
Wow.
So if you want a job, that's the place to come. You don't want to do that. Either do I. No, I don't want to. See our shipyard off to the left here? They have me now? That was just lucky, I think. I'll just leave it alone. That's our shipyard. You might see a couple of our Navy ships. We have up to 25 ships come in here and more. Beautiful frigates and icebreakers and destroyers. Our Atlantic fleet. It represents 52 acres on the waterfront. It's been here since 1759. It's the oldest dockyard in, I believe, Canada. I hate hitting bumps. We went underneath the new bridge behind us. It's called the McKay Bridge. This is the old bridge. This was supposedly cursed. A British soldier went over and met with a Mi'kmaq chief's daughter. Fell in love with her. Chief didn't like him. Chief didn't like him. So he put a curse on any crossing. And so first bridge went up and it fell down by fire. Second bridge went up and it just disappeared, fell into the water. No idea how it happened. So they decided they asked the chief of the day if they take the curse off the bridge before they put up a new one again, and supposedly he did so. But people still take the new bridge to avoid the old bridge in case the curse isn't off. So you might see some of the battleships and Navy vessels off to the left here. There they are. Thanks, everyone. Might see those buildings off to the left. They look like milk cartons, don't they? They are called they're called Purdy's Wharfs. And there was an engineering student out of Dalhousie, one of our big universities here, and he had an idea. Why don't we put a building in the harbor and utilize the harbor? So those buildings are in the harbor on stilts, and the salt water comes up the columns, and they process it, heat and cool the buildings. So it's smart. There's a casino, by the way. Don't forget. They love your money in there. Tax-free if you win big, but how many people win big? I wonder. Pedways everywhere, as you can see. You stay dry and warm or dry and cool, depending on the season. All the way to the casino up to the Scotiabank Centre. Scotia Square, who was asking me, someone was asking, Scotia Square is just over to my right.
I was.
Yes, over to the right here. So if you come up here to Duke Street, walk up the street, you'll find Scotia Square.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Blue Nose 2 Restaurant, great for eating. $29 lobster dinner. Very family oriented. They have booths instead of fancy tables. If you go up 2 streets, you go on Argyle Street. Lots of pubs up on Argyle Street, as well as the Five Fishermen, great seafood restaurant up there. You've got Salty's and McKelvey's down by the museum.
Yeah, we went to McKelvey's.
Very nice. Another one I recommend is the Bicycle Thief. Fantastic. Go up the boardwalk towards the south, the direction we're going now, and you'll find the Bicycle Thief. Very, very good food.
The Bicycle Thief. Ah, okay.
And Murphy's, of course. Murphy's on the water. So there's the shopping center off to the right there, way up. It's called Scotia Square, built in the 60s. This is the oldest and smallest province house right here on the right in Canada. Somebody in Britain said it was like looking through at one of their buildings to the opposite end of a telescope. That's Joseph Howe at the end on the statue there. He won the power of the freedom of press and freedom of speech. He talked for 6 hours. He was arrested on treason. No one would take the case. So we don't have to get off because he talked for 6 hours or what he said was good. I don't know. He got off though.
Which way is the market?
Market's straight ahead of where I'm going now, except down on Water Street. You just keep going down.
Okay.
So where I drop you off, just go down to the right.
To the right.
Yes. This is a good time to remind you if you brought anything or bought anything to gather it up so you don't leave it on the bus. It's always a good idea. Coats, hats, cameras, all those things. A good time to also say, did you have a good day? It was a great day.
Very good.
Fantastic, awesome.
Wonderful.
On behalf of Ambassadors Greyline and myself, Paul, thank you very much. I had a good time.
Thank you very much.
My sincere pleasure. Thank you. Now, you probably heard about Alexander Keith. Alexander Keith was a brewer here in Halifax, and his brewery is just to the other side of this hotel, to the right. And they give a tour every hour, and they give you a couple samples of free samples, so you might know the beginning of the tour, but you'll forget the last part. But I highly recommend it. It's a good tour. They go back in period costume and show you how they brewed beer back in the Alexander Keith's day. I hear jazz over there. Festival still going strong.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Glad you enjoyed it. For those of you who are staying in Halifax for a while, enjoy it for everything it has to offer. Those of you who are leaving us, bon voyage, safe voyage, and come back, visit us again. love to have you back.
It's lovely. It's really lovely. We still have more than a week here.
Oh, fantastic. Good time. Good restaurant on the right-hand side here, too. This is called the Waterfront Warehouse. Very nice restaurant. Oh, quick story before I let you go. This is hilarious. This building in front of us is called Summit Place. We had a G7 summit here years ago. Presidents, prime ministers, all the Secret Service, everybody opened these steps at 12 o'clock for a picture. Well, we forgot to tell them we fire our cannon at 12 o'clock from the Citadel. So I'd love to see the pictures. Probably just to pile them in. Needless to say, we tell them now. So thanks again very much. Be careful getting off the bus.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been just wonderful, and you have given us so much information.
Oh, fantastic.
And you have been very nice to me.